come home before dark, my mom would tell me. One night after middle school, the sun had set, and it took a search group to find me, only playing basketball with my friends and kids from around the neighborhood. I just couldn't stop playing. Basketball, my first passion. But sometimes, I just couldn't play. My basketball would get taken from me, stolen, run over by a car. I couldn't afford to buy a new one. The nets at school would be taken down for repairs and not put back up for some reason. And sometimes, I went on someone's driveway without asking permission that had a basketball net to play on it. I got scared that the cops would get called on me, afraid that I would get yelled at. It was my passion, my only passion. And I just couldn't play. Quickly, my passion and escape turned from a source of safety to me feeling trapped. That was my first passion. And it only got worse when I found out in high school I would be going to a different high school for my first year than the kids that I grew up with from around the neighborhood. They were my friends. I went to middle school with them. They knew me, they knew the real me, and I felt safe talking to them, to be myself. They knew my funny, quirky side. But I lost my confidence, my passion, my love and escape, and my social anxiety only got worse. In that transition in high school, from middle school to high school, I remember people by their shoes. Always looking down. I couldn't look up even if they were talking to me. I couldn't look up to say hi. I remember the ground and the concrete because I didn't have the confidence to look up, wondering what they thought about me. My social anxiety was only escalating. In grade 9, I was in a computer lab one day at lunch, and I saw someone, I didn't know them, a few computers away from me. They were playing the first video game that I ever played, Banjo-Kazooie. I wanted to ask them if they were on the first level, Spiral Mountain, or the last level, TikTok Woods. I sat there for the whole 30-minute break, unable to say anything. I remember the clock ticking, tick, 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 and I couldn't say anything. The whole 30-minute break, each tick of the clock, I felt my heart clenching and my lungs. I couldn't breathe, and I experienced that for the whole 30 minutes. And then the bell rang, and I watched them get up and walk away. I never got to say a word. But soon enough came an opportunity for me to rebuild my confidence and crush my social anxiety and rebuild my passion. In grade 9, I was on a field trip, and we were walking in single file line, and from a few students ahead of me, I heard I was like, wow, what was that? So I walked up to him and I asked him, hey, can you teach me? And he said, this is beatbox, and no. So I went home that night after school, remembering what I heard. I heard sounds found in common speech, like the letters B, T, and K, and I heard tongue clicks All these things I've done before. All these things I know everyone has done before. When I heard him do all that, what you just heard, I knew I could do too. So I went home and I tried, came back to school the next day, and showed him my style, my version. That started our rivalry for the next 4 years. Beatbox and the basics of beatbox can be found in the drum kit and the 3 letters BTK. The drum kit, 3 main sounds: the kick drum, the hi-hat, and the snare. Everyone can beatbox, and I'm going to explain to you how. The letters B, T, and K, we remove the vowels. So E and A. B becomes P, T becomes T, and K becomes K. But with beatbox, it's not only limited to the drum kit. In grade 9, I played an actual trombone. I was the top student in my class, studying sheet music at home that was assigned to me, but I was also studying sheet music that wasn't assigned to me, that I Google searched from TV shows and movies of my favorite times. I remember searching Ghostbusters sheet music. Doug. Angry Beavers. Thanks to beatbox, I could make my instrument play a clean sound. To do so in a trombone, you need to know what lip oscillation is. And you also need to know what note accenting is. And thanks to beatbox, I could already do those. But talent and passion and love wasn't enough. To afford an instrument, you need money. The school will let you buy an instrument, but if you couldn't do that, they'll let you rent it. And I couldn't even afford that. At home, I was living without running water. At home, I was living without running water. The school didn't have space for a kid who couldn't afford water. I was living without running water, brushing my teeth from a bucket that we filled up from my neighbor's hose. They didn't have space for a kid who couldn't afford water, let alone instrument rental fees. I still remember my music teacher's face when I told her. She was angry at first. She's like, "You were one of the best students in the class. Why didn't you sign up for the next semester?" And I told her there wasn't enough space. That's what they told me, no exceptions. So, soon enough though, came an opportunity for me to rebuild my connection and passion to music. Out of 100 students in my high school that auditioned for the school talent show, a handful were chosen. And one of them was me. On that stage, I didn't need my trombone. I didn't have my basketball. I didn't need to find the right words to express myself. I just needed my mouth. I remembered all the sounds I've ever done and put them in a rhythm, turning noise to music, and I layered them. Not everyone is a professional musician. Not everyone is a professional percussionist. Not everyone is a professional singer. But I'm sure all of you have tried to sing before. I'm sure all of you have hummed a melody stuck in your head or whistled it, or tapped the rhythm out with your foot or with a pen on a table. I'm sure all of you have clicked your teeth or bit your tongue when you're nervous. The urge for me to beatbox is similar to that. Not everyone is a professional. But lucky for me, beatbox has allowed me to travel the world and teach beatbox and share my craft with those who also beatbox and with those that it can help. In 2017, I auditioned for the Canadian Beatbox National Championship. I became the Vice Canadian Champion, placed second. 2019, I became the Montreal Beatbox Champion. With beatbox, you don't need to find the right words to express yourself. And this reminds me of a story. In 2019, I had the opportunity to teach beatbox in a homeless shelter for children. There was one student in my workshop class. I was with them for 2 months, the whole class, and she reminded me of me at a young age. She couldn't find the words to express herself. In that class, one day we had a roll call, and everyone had to say their name. And when it was her turn to say her name, she couldn't. And the other kids beside her said her name for her. She couldn't find the right words to express herself. She couldn't even say her own name. In that class, one day I suggested, let's play a game where we take a beat. It's just 3 sounds in a rhythm. And then we make a circle, and everyone takes one sound of the beat and keeps the beat going as a group. And we have to keep it going so it sounds the same as the original beat. She didn't want to play, though, but eventually we convinced her to play. And if you mess up the rhythm, you're out. This way, we can keep the beat going and hear what it's really supposed to sound like. She joined the game, and she was the last one in the finals, and she won the game. And every class, she won the game, and she won the game over and over again. She didn't need to find any words to express herself. With beatboxing, you don't need any words. You don't need instrument rental fees to cover. You don't need money. You don't need a basketball. You don't need a net. All you need is a love for music and the need to express yourself. Beatboxing is not noise. Clicking your teeth. The next time you have a nervous tic and you find yourself clicking your teeth, just click it in a rhythm. Sounds in a rhythm. And add the B, T, and K that I taught you earlier. And eventually you'll get to that level. Next time you're at a birthday party, instead of singing, be the one to lay down a beat while the rest of them sing. Beatboxing is like a quote from the founder of beatbox, Dougie Fresh. We have done so much with so little for so long that we are now qualified and capable of creating anything out of nothing. Thank you.